Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another technical analysis video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Vechain's VET token with the current price action, where it's heading and all that good stuff. As I get into today's video, guys, do smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications so you do not miss another video update. Let's jump right down into today's video. So here we have Vechain paired up with USDT. We're on the 1-day Binance chart here. And following on from the last TA video that we did, we were talking about coming down into the range between 2.560 and 2.657. This is an area that we tapped into on the 25th of July. We saw it see a bit of a run to the upside and then a bit of a move to the downside. This looks like it's starting to finish off its structure now, looking to me like a WXYX pattern coming into these lows. So today we've seen a wick low of 0.0257, so basically 2.575 cents, and basically this is looking pretty good for a reversal at the moment. This was the range that we were tracking, okay, and it has come down here to look to finish off that kind of structure. This is a very much a corrective pattern to the downside for Vechain. This is kind of where we were looking for it to kind of find a reversal in the market so it can continue its run upwards. Now it has got an interesting structure here where we were looking for a kind of 5-wave pattern, right? And this is something that we've seen kind of playing out from the 5th of July with the correction that we saw up on the 8th of July coming into a low of 2.161. Which, if I go ahead and put this Fibonacci chart on, you can see here that we tapped up into the 1.618, quick rejection, quick retracement before rallying up. So we were hoping that actually we'd have a bigger wave 4 or wave 5, something to this effect, right? This is what we were hoping for, find support on that 50 EMA and then rally. But instead, the structure that is actually here is a little bit less than that. So you can see little tiny wave 4 and then a finishing wave 5. Okay, so it's a 5-wave pattern, which is good to see. The retracement to the downside is a WXYX pattern, I believe, but it has the potential to change ever so slightly. I just want to check to see whether or not a diagonal is, I mean, it's possible for a diagonal under the expansion, but we'd have to see a much further retracement from here. So to me, it looks more like a WXYX pattern finishing off, and then from here we can see another 5-wave move to the upside. Okay, so kind of give you a kind of short to medium term view. What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for finding a reversal in this low range here between the 2.560 and 2.657. Okay, obviously we can continue to move down a lot deeper than that. That's just where I was hoping it would hold. I can show you my expectations on where I think we are likely to actually, well, I'll show you the worst case scenario is kind of what I should say. The worst case scenario would be a move down towards 2.447 under a WXYX pattern, but obviously we've already met all those higher range expectations already. Okay, so anything lower than 2.7 essentially is the Z wave kind of completing. So we want to be aware that it's possible that we come down a little bit deeper into that kind of lower range at 2.447, but we're not going to be holding it to that. Okay, so it's possible that we come down here a little bit more, consolidate in these ranges before rallying on up. There's good support in this range as well, as we can see historically from these two wick lows over here on the 18th and on the 24th of June. These two are indicating great buying opportunities in this lower range. So on our kind of short term frame, we're just looking to consolidate here and then looking for a breakout from the Z wave. On the medium term, we are going to be looking for another 5-wave run to the upside for Vechain. Okay, I'm going to take the existing low here to give you a bit of an idea that we will be looking for a breakout. And again, we have some interesting resistances here, but we are going to be looking for about 4.3 to 4.8 on that next kind of run to the upside. Okay, so interesting to keep a close eye on that. Now, if I bring in our smart money concepts into the play, we are in a bearish structure on our daily time frame. That happened to get confirmed when we had a closed position on the 23rd of June. We haven't changed that yet. You can see that the 50 or the 200-day EMA is our resistance, and we have started to move back down. What we will do is any closed position higher than our previous closed positions on the 15th of July. So if we can get a closed position higher than 32 0.26, that is actually going to give us a bullish change of characterization into a bullish, from bearish to bullish, right? That's kind of what we look for. Any closed kind of positions up here is going to do that. And I do see this move to the upside under an Elliott wave theory structure giving us that breakout and that confirmation that we change from bearish to bullish on the smart money concepts. Elliott wave theory is more predictive than smart money. Smart money is only showing you what's kind of already happened, with the idea of what would happen should we see certain things. So for example, this move to the downside was very much expected, not only from an Elliott wave theory point of view, but also from a smart money concepts point of view, because there were some fair value gaps in here that have now all been filled out. Okay, so there's no more fair value gaps, so the expectation under smart money concepts right now is that we come down towards our week low discounted range, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're actually going to rally and we're going to get a change of character into a bullish state of play, and if there's any fair value gaps, we might see retracement for those. Okay, interestingly though, it is right where we're kind of looking for a bigger, broader retracement anyway, right? We're talking about coming down to 1.560 to the 2.617. This part here as a part of our big deep wave 2 retracement on a much bigger macro scale. Okay, so it's actually looking really, really good. Now, if we come into our stochastic RSIs, you can see that these are also playing quite a crucial role. We're oversold on the daily, 8-hour and 4-hour. Expect more volatility on the 1-hour time frame though. Okay, small time frames, you're going to see all that kind of pump and dump, and you're going to see liquidity getting extracted all over the place. But on the macro scales, we're seeing some pretty decent things occurring. Now, if I turn off the stochastic RSI and bring on the divergence indicator, you can see that we have started to see a really big correction on the relative strength index. Okay, we're lower than the 50 level, so this is a bearish trend to the downside according to the RSI. Okay, but we will be looking for a reversal in the market, in my opinion, to get us rallying back up again. So it's going to be an interesting one to see. Obviously, we are hovering on 40. Anything lower than 30 is oversold. Anything above 50 is going to be bullish. Anything lower than 50 is going to be bearish. So we're in a bearish trend here on the relative strength index. No divergences being noted though. So there's no divergence related to price versus RSI or anything like that. It's interesting. Now, if I bring up the volumes and we take a look at the volume profiles in relation to that current price action, okay, we can see that as we've corrected down here, our volumes have also corrected down. That shows that there's not a lot of appetite for selling into this move to the downside. Okay, so this is also showing weakness in this move to the downside. Not only does Elliott wave theory show us with the W, X, Y, X, and Z pattern, okay, but we also see a decrease in volume. The overlapping nature and the lack of conviction into these sell-offs shows that this is not a deep trend-based correction, because we've stayed above 1.618 times that of the first initial sell-off. So basically, Fibonacci retracements, Elliott wave analysis, and volume analysis is telling us that this is a weak retracement and not a strong one, and we should be starting to think about those retracements to the upside. Smart money concepts has obviously also filled out those two fair value gaps that were there, so we haven't got those to contend with either. So volume profiles are supporting the idea that this is a weak move to the downside, a weak correction. We're not likely to come down and retest those lows, and we are going to be looking for a breakout above the 200-day EMA. That's where my kind of thoughts are on Vechain on the daily time frame. Okay, now if we come up into a weekly time frame, this then allows us to see that this is a big wave 2 retracement after completing 5 waves to the upside. Okay, this retracement to the downside I don't necessarily think is completely done, which is why I'm looking at this as a giant kind of 3-wave potential correction into this wave 2. It can potentially take quite some significant time, so be mindful over that. It's also possible that we kind of bottomed out and we're reversing. Absolutely is. I think it's just a tad too soon in the year for that. So I'm looking at where we are now, August, as kind of like an interesting time period where we actually see a little bit of a rally, a little bit of relief, but then come back down in September, October, before we start really rallying up in November, December, then really get into the bullish market in January of 2025. Okay, so everything that's kind of going on here for Vechain is, you know, just kind of part and parcel of kind of what to expect from a volatile crypto market. Great moves to the upside as we were expecting. We've had a great retracement as expecting. I'm looking for a little relief rally and potentially another run to the downside before we actually start to get into those bigger, more powerful runs to the upside, where we then start talking about this kind of big 5-wave pattern that plays over a multiple year kind of, you know, span, right? We had great runs in the previous bullish cycle. We're looking to end on on 5 waves, and I'm looking for this to kind of be somewhere in that kind of 32 to 77 cents, with obviously the outlier chances of going up into the kind of $2 to $8 range. I don't think that's likely to happen, and so I'm more conservative around that kind of 32 to 77 cents, which will be fantastic for Vechain in my humble opinion. But guys, you can let me know what your thoughts are on all of this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your long-term price prediction? Let me know. And yeah, guys, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button if you've appreciated today's video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one.